Okay, folks, today's going to be an interesting one. It's a tie-up loose ends episode. Does it sound interesting? No, but will it be? Yes, because we've got a lot of things to do. So what I want to do is we're getting to the point that we are almost ready to start the car. So what I know is I've made myself a little list, and there's things that I need to finish up in the back here. There's things that I need to finish up in the middle here, and then that will get us ready for what needs to be done on the front. So then I'm going to get to working. So what I've got here is our passenger side tail light. In a previous episode, you would have seen that I managed to track a really cheap replacement one down for the driver's side, which was super lucky, but they didn't have any more. I would have bought both if they did. I've been on the hunt since. They're still relatively expensive, so I'm going to try to make do with what we've got here. Now, the other one was destroyed. This one is not. It's just beat up a little bit, but it is also the original light, which means that it's not necessarily designed for the conventional sockets or the ones that are more current. So what I'm going to do now is see if I can get something figured out where I can hook those sockets in, and then I don't have to buy another one. I'm sure that I can figure something out, so away I go. Okay, so this bracket isn't pretty. I messed up a little bit. I drilled the second hole here thinking that I needed to make kind of a slotted hole. Turns out that I don't need to, which is fine. This one here is all set and proper. This is a great bracket. Keeps things nice and tight in there. Now, going over to the top side is going to be a little bit more of a challenge. So I'm going to have to make some sort of different bracket, some angles or something like that to keep this guy in. Now the beauty of this is, it is a little bit of work, but these sockets cost me a whole $6 each. This I already had, so that's a huge difference in like 120 or 130 bucks. Is it pretty? Nope. Will it work? I believe it will. So let me go and get this bolted up and see if it all really does come together. I'm hoping it does. And it's in. Not the prettiest, but it's definitely going to do the job. Now what's left is for me to just get these wires all figured out and hooked up, and then I can start moving on to doing some other wiring in this somewhat messy trunk. I believe that's all wired up correctly. Now on to the next mystery. This is the one that's actually been plaguing me for a bit, and it is this here. This is the plug-in for the fuel level sender. Now the tank came with no instructions, and I did a bunch of investigating on the internet, and it's my understanding that this yellow wire is the power, this green wire is the ground. So that means I've got to run this cable here up into there. Okay, so I made an even bigger mess in the trunk, but the beauty of it is I've pretty much tied up all loose ends in here. So I've got the fuel sender hooked up, grounded over here. Everything is nice and neat there. Also, I've got my vent in here going down through the floor. I need to do a little bit of vacuuming down there, but that's okay. And a little bit of cleanup here. So the other thing too, which was a very random thing, I was upstairs the other day looking around for some part, and I just so happened to notice this piece here. The holes are all still here underneath, so I'm gonna get this guy hooked up. Maybe not a hole here, I would say, but overall, I think there's still some solid metal to grab to. So I'll get this guy done, and then the other thing I've got to too is I've got to get my main ground hooked up, which I'm going to just drill a hole in the bottom of drill a hole onto the frame, or actually I think there's an existing hole there that I can use, and then get this guy mounted up, and then we'll be all set. Then I can move on to some interior stuff, and then something that I want to do on the engine before I wrap up for the day. Got our ground hooked up there, not touching anything, goes right back up into the trunk with lots of slack in case I need to pull it up a little bit further to fit up against the battery. And then we've got the bottom of the one panel down here so that I'm gonna find some bolts to fit up into there next and get that guy all hooked up. And there we go. It is all attached. All right, that looks awesome. I've just got to get this guy done, get that tucked in there. Figured out some way where it's not going to get bashed. Hook it up to one of the taillights so that when I pull the lights on, it's going to illuminate this guy down here, and then we're all good. Got to wire it up. I just used an old piece of fuel hose for the time being to get that stuck in there. Wires running through, and then it comes up through there, and we've got it running over to here. So that should do the trick. Next up, I head over here. Go over to our box of things and find, I believe, yep, I think that is the connector for the Terminator's main power. So I'm gonna get that plugged in. So I've got most everything I need wired up. So basically what you see is these junction boxes I'm not a huge fan of, but it does keep things neat and tidy. This is power that's straight off the battery running into this junction box, and so what that's doing is that's powering the switch box, and then there's also running the power for part of the Terminator that runs the fuel injectors. This is a ground. Now what I'm going to do is get my label maker down here and label everything up. I also just wound up the main power cable and hung it up underneath the dashboard here for the Terminator for the time being, because I'm not 100% sure. Like, I'm not done yet. I mean, I'm pretty sure this is where everything's going to sit. I don't really have much of a choice in terms of moving it, but at this point in time, before I cut anything, I just want to see if it works. I am happy with how this looks. It's not too rat's nesty. Could I have run this a little bit neater down here? Absolutely, but I'm really limited for space, and I didn't want to make another plate and go too far down here because that's where people's legs are going to be. So if I can tuck it up and it doesn't look perfect, I'd much rather that than have it look perfect and be in a spot where it might get kicked or hit or something like that. I've got all my grounds here, the distribution block. I do still have to ground this off of something because I haven't done it yet. I could actually run it into to this guy here if I wanted to, but I don't want to put too many things running off because that ground is coming off the battery as well. Our fuel injector harness for the Terminator came with the wrong connections on it. There's 3 different types of connections that's on a GM LS engine that you can connect to for your injectors. So what we needed to do was, well, we basically had 2 options. One option was I contacted Holley and they were great. They did offer to replace this wiring loom, but the problem was I had to take the Terminator, the entire kit, put it back in the box, send it back to them, and then they would send me back the proper one. That just wasn't possible because obviously the Terminator is already in the car and I wasn't gonna start ripping it all back out again. Another option was just to buy another loom, but at this point in time, that's a little bit expensive. Being up in Canada, that was a couple $100 for us. Easy to get, but still, not something that I had planned on. Maybe down the road. So which left us with one other option. Now, I spoke to a super nice guy out of Holley. He was amazing. But one of the things I said I would have to do for the time being is just use these adapters. Now, I'm sure that there's lots of people out there that have differing opinions, and he made a really, really good point. That point being is that by adding this adapter in, you're creating another potential failure point. Right now, we're not planning on driving the car across country yet, but at least this will get us up and running, and the cost was way cheaper. For 8 of these, I think it was like 25 bucks. Got them online, well reviewed. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna connect all these up, then we're gonna be able to get them onto the car and be one step closer to finishing up the wiring and getting that engine running. So each of these guys is labeled right here on each of their wires. And then we've got the diagram here in the instructions on how to install them properly. So front of the engine, get that wired up, and then I'll be a happy man. So on to install. And there we go, all hooked up in the right spots. tucked neatly away. Fuel line is run up here. Got my adapter installed at the back. Just have to put the head on that once I cut that to length. And then we can get some fuel pumping. So for the final bit of this episode, I'm going to do a little preventative maintenance maybe. I don't know. That might be the right way to say it. I'm not sure. Anyway, what I did was I grabbed myself some steel stick, which is basically that JB Weld epoxy putty that's steel reinforced. What I want to do is address this up here. Now, I can't say I am 100% confident in my welds as far as getting in and making it nice and smooth right across, partially just due to my inexperience, but also because of how thin the metal is up here. I didn't want to go too crazy, so I'm going to just knead some of this together, and then I'm going to fill in this area here. Won't be able to do anything here until we get the window out, but if you look close, you can see it's definitely going to need some help down there for sure, and I'm going to work on it on the other side. So let's get to work on this first. And one. And two. So that's it, folks. Hope that you enjoyed it. I got done everything that I had wanted to do, which makes me quite a happy guy. Got this plate on. Got this all wired up. Everything back here has now been tightened. I did all of that off camera. So now we're on the home stretch to getting this car started. Make sure to tune in soon. Hopefully that'll be happening before you know it. Have a good one, folks.